You know, my friends, next week is the last week of the church year before the first beginning Sunday of Advent. So these readings are always what they call the end of times. We don't really like to think about those times, my friends, or even our own mortality, but the church puts it in there for a reason. For a reason. And I looked up some different things this past week. In 1200 in Egypt and Syria, they thought this was the end of the world when a earthquake hit and 1.1 million people died. It's the biggest earthquake that ever hit the earth. The bubonic plague in Europe in 1347 to there, called the Black Death, killed over 1/3 of the population in Europe and affected many others. It was interesting too, because with that article there was talking to people that survived 9/11, and those that lived and worked in the city that were close to the towers but survived. They said when those planes hit and were crashing, they said the debris, they said it was almost like the end of the world. And some of those are even still affected years later. In that classic Peanuts cartoon, Linus and Lucy are standing in the window watching it rain. And Lucy says to Linus, "Look at it rain. What if the whole earth floods?" Linus answers, "It won't. God promised Noah in Genesis chapter 9, he would never flood the world again. And the sign of this promise is the rainbow." Lucy smiles and says to Linus, "Linus, you've taken a great load off my mind." To which she responds, "Sound theology has a way of doing that." What's the church teach, my friends, about the end times? What's it teach? It says it right in today's gospel. No one knows. Someone said it over here. Yeah, no one knows. I was going to give credit to Mary Lee Schaefer. Those teachers know everything. But that's true. No one knows. No one knows, right? And there's two things we need to do in life. And you know, a lot of times we don't. I was reading this article from a leadership magazine written by David Bayakin, and he's talking about this very thing. And he used the analogy of a basketball game, the 1987 NCAA double regional finals, you know. LSU was playing Indiana and ahead by 8 points with just like 2 minutes to go. And they changed their game, LSU, when they got the ball. They were watching the what instead of playing the game? The clock, sure. They're watching the clock and ended up losing the game. And you know, the author was saying, when we shift the focus, we always end up losing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, my friends, during the week, I always do my homilies. You know, I work on a little bit, and then Friday night, I usually do them, or if I like to do Friday, if I can. And then if I don't, because I had something, I went with the 6th graders to Sight and Sound on Friday, so I had to do it on Saturday. And I had a wedding, so I just had to finish some stuff up after my wedding on Saturday. And it was a little bit after 3, and I'm putting it together, and then 3:30 came, and you know what I did? I turned on the Notre Dame game. So here I am, talking about focus and putting the things in perspective, and I'm watching the Notre Dame game without my homily written. And I thought, you know, but we all do that, my friends. Is there anything wrong with watching the game? No. But that's not what I should be doing, right? I mean, I could finish my homily and then watch the game. But you know, we get stuck in these modes where we're doing these things that we shouldn't be doing and focusing on the wrong things. We all do it, but it's not good, my friends. And the other thing is being faithful. You know that classic film, Ben-Hur, with Charlton Heston? It has that beautiful, not beautiful, but that classic scene where he's driving that chariot. And weeks and weeks of learning how to do this, Charlton Heston says to the director, I think I can drive the chariot all right, but I'm not sure I can actually win the race. And the director responded to Charlton Heston, you stay in the race and I'll make sure you win. You stay in the race and I'll make sure you win. And it's almost like God says to us, you be faithful. You be faithful in big things, in small things, and I'll take care of the rest. I'll take care of the rest. Don't worry about all this other stuff. We worry about so many things, don't we, my friends? Be faithful. Focus on what's important and be faithful, and He will take care of the rest. God bless you.